Hello, Facebook Live. The lighting is better. There we go. Hello, Facebook Live. Marcus here and Jamie somewhere here. Where'd you go, Jay? She's there. So Jamie and I have been working all morning. What time we start down here? Like 9:30? Yeah, 9:30 we started. What time is it now? Noonish?
It is almost 12:40.
12:40. Wow, I gotta get out for my run or my cycle. Jamie and I are in the dining room doing lots of rearranging, lots of work. If you've been into the restaurant, you know that if you've eaten here, you know that we've only done outdoor dining, and that when you walk into the restaurant, it is basically a grocery store. It's a market. All of the items that we have in our storeroom and everything is for sale here. And when you're walking, you're able to see all the liquor and everything. And we've not done any indoor dining. We had a table that did dine in last night. We understand it's getting cold out. I didn't think people were willing to eat indoors yet, and I guess I'm wrong. We did a Facebook Live last week and asked that question. Are you ready to eat indoors? And a lot of people responded, yes, they're ready to. When it gets cold, they're ready to eat indoors. Well, guess what, folks? It's getting cold this weekend. It's going to be down to what, in the mid-30s, Jamie?
Yeah.
Mid-30s or something at night. So our patio heaters out back have been working overtime. Our fire pit. We do our lobster bakes out front.
Still will go this weekend.
And we're still doing it all this weekend outdoors. But the dining room is readier, is more ready than ever right now since this whole thing happened in March. We are setting up tables. And so let me just give you a little tour of what Jamie and I have been doing this morning. So, and of course, we've got a lot of cleaning to do still. The staff's going to come and help us clean, but we've organized and put things in place properly. So when you walk in the front door, all of a sudden, all of our tables, the front table in the window, the booth, and the next booth is all ready. The regulations require 5-foot partitions, which we already had 5-foot partitions here. So these partitions are in between the tables. So we're good to go with all three of these tables, meet regulations. The health department was here 3-4 weeks ago doing one of their semi-annual inspections. And he goes, Marcus, your booths are perfectly fine. And we kind of were going out with a layout of what we wanted to do with him. And he was like, yep, that sounds great. We got all these old doors, which I've talked about in a couple of Facebook Lives. We sanded them down, cleaned them up, and then polyurethaned them so nothing chips off of them. And we have these doors now. So if you sit in the booth, here, you're sitting in the booth and you look over, you can only half see all the wine now because we have 2 doors there. And we built legs on the doors. So the doors are portable, believe it or not, so we can move them all around. And we did that so we could create other barriers. So the booths, my desk will go bye-bye. So here is a table with 6 feet in it to begin with, but we also put a barrier there. So there's another portable door that we have. So we have this table back, and we're about 50% occupancy is what we're geared at right now. Jamie's cleaning the freezer. That's filled with salmon and a bunch of stuff that we retail. So we used to have 3 tables here. We used to have a table here, and where Jamie is, we used to have a table, which no longer is a table. And so this table and the wood door partition, that's movable. This side, we used to have a table right here, a 4-top, and then a 2-top and a 2-top. All we have right now is a 2-top right here, which we can't sit both those tables at the same time. But if you are a party of 6 people, we can move that table. That table won't be seated at. You can move that table and move that table here to make a 6-top. I put 2 doors on the wall this morning just to lighten this area up. It has that dark wood tone was on this wall here. So we got these 2 lighter doors that we finished up, and we put them there just to lighten it up. We did it in back a couple years ago too, and it looks really great. So we have literally all these doors all over to brighten things up and seclude things at the same time. So all of our booze is still here because we're allowed to sell booze. By the way, this is the wine deal of the week, the Alice. It's $12.99. Looks like Alice, but it's Alice, and the grape is Verdecca, Italian pronunciation, Alice. That is $12.99, regulated from $14.99. That is an amazing, amazing wine. Everybody who tries it loves it, loves it, loves it. So that's on sale until Sunday or something. Every week we do a wine blowout, and we do a food item. This week is ground venison, $2 off a pound on ground venison. So all of our wine and booze is still here. We added this rack right here for the market. So we have a bunch of cool things in here. When you walk in, you can see the Italian mustard, the vinegar, apple cider vinegar, local maple syrup. Nutiva's version, it's organic Nutella, basically. It's Nutiva's organic version, really good stuff. Jovial gluten-free pastas, agave, our rice crackers that we use, some of the pastas that we love to use in the kitchen here, and some canned stuff. So that's right here when you walk in now, so you can see that. By the way, fresh bread just came in from Bread Alone. It is fresh today and every Tuesday. I don't know the price on that, but it's here. Oh, $5.99 a loaf. $5.99 a loaf. It's here, ready to go. The dining room smells amazing like bread right now because the delivery just came in. And then we still have this rack here, which we have a lot of merchandise on. These were new. We talked about these the other day on my Facebook Live. Tarali and Tadals, those are in new. We have local gluten-free biscotti. Great balsamic condiment. We're actually going here next April when we go to Lecce, southern Italy. That's one of our tours. Amazing property. I can't wait to go there. Local honey, organic pomegranate, pure pomegranate. No other juices in there. Really, really good stuff. That's why it's $14 a bottle, which is what you'd pay in a health food store for the pure pomegranate. Great truffle oil that's organic, the real deal. Our new olive oil, and we're out of the bottles of olive oil, which we're back in tomorrow. We're stocked up on DiCecco pasta, which we're going to switch brands from DiCecco to an organic brand from Italy. Smaller brand once this is out. We're super excited. This pasta right here is amazing. Pricey. Very, very pricey. So that 1 pounder is the same price as a 5 pounder at DiCecco. Literally the same price for that 1 pound versus 5 pounds. This is super high quality from southern Italy, from Albarabello, which is one of our visits in April that we're taking everybody to on our trip. And then let's pop into the back dining room. The back dining room here again. Table set up here, which will move together. We couldn't sit those two tables together anyway, but if you're 6 people, that's an easy table for you. We have another door divider. We have more doors to set up like this too, that we can put through the archway here and wherever else. So there's a table here and a table there. And we just have to do some measuring and see what we can do here. I don't know if that's going to work, but we'll see. The tables are here. We don't have to sit people there, but the tables are there. So we went to a cool place this summer that in the dining room, all the tables were set, and they had mannequins at each table, every other table. It was really, really cool the way it looked. Because first glance when we got there, we're like, oh, wow, the place is packed. And then I'm like, no, nobody's, like half the people aren't moving in there. And sure enough, every other table they sat, and tables that you could not see that had all these mannequins set up, and it looked like real people at first glance when we walked in. So that was really cool. So let's see. Lobster bakes tonight. What else, Jamie? Anything else? Did I miss anything?
Fire pit.
Fire pit will be going. Space heaters will be going out back. Turn so light's not there.
Bring a sweatshirt.
Do bring a sweatshirt if you're sitting outside. Are we officially seating inside tonight?
We're gonna have to, I think.
We're going to have to, right? People are going to want to sit inside. So if you want to sit inside, we'll be able to sit you inside. That is not going to be a problem. That's why Jamie and I have been here busting our butts working all morning. So that is an option. Outdoor is still available 100%. So if that is your comfort level, outdoor, if you're comfortable indoors, we'll have that option available from here on out. I think that's about it. I have to do some cooking. I got to get in the kitchen and sear off a bunch of tuna right now. We were going to do a $9.99 special tonight, but Jamie and I have been caught up with this, and we're going to try to figure that out. An email will go out if we're going to do a $9.99 special. It probably was going to be the tuna if we were going to do a $9.99 special to go for takeout. If anybody wants a tuna tonight as a $9.99 special takeout, drop a comment, and we'll see how many people are interested in that.
$9.99.
$9.99, right? It's usually $14.99? Did I misspeak?
$19.99.
It's $19.99. Oh, Jamie price corrected me. Okay, we got to go back to the drawing board. So, I knew we were.
It's not the appetizer anymore.
It's not the. That's right.
It's an entree.
It's not the appetizer anymore. We made the. So we took the. What we did was we took, since COVID happened, the tuna dish we lowered the price on because we got rid of the appetizer and we got rid of the entree. We made it a size in between, and it's $19.99 instead of $32, and instead of $14.99, it's $19.99, and we made it bigger than the appetizer, and a touch smaller than the entree. Not much, only 1 ounce smaller is it than the entree version was, but doesn't get rice anymore, so you can order rice on the side. When COVID happened, and still right now, we lowered a lot of our prices, and we plan on keeping them lower as of right now because it's working really well. Another friend of mine who owns a restaurant, another industry person, asked me when our big wine sale was going to end. I said, "What do you mean my big wine sale?" He goes, "Well, you're blowing out all those wines there, Marcus. It's crazy. Like the price, it's so cheap." And I said, "No, that's not a sale. Those are our permanent prices right now. Those are our permanent prices on wine. You can walk in here and literally sit down get a bottle of wine for $19.99, or do a takeout and pay $9.99, starting at $9.99 for a bottle. So those are permanent prices. Those are not sale prices. Those are really, really deep discounted prices that we've never offered wine that low before. You can literally come in here, sit down, get an amazing bottle of wine for $25. $25, $30, $35. It's amazing the quality that's there. Most of those vineyards that are there, we've actually personally been to those vineyards. So we not only do we like the wine and it's good wine, but we like the owners. We like the property, and that goes a long way. Jamie and I were tasting wine yesterday. We had a sales rep here, and he poured us on, I don't know, how many wines did he have, Jamie? 8 wines? 8 or 9 wines. And he tasted us on a bunch. A lot of stuff that was dynamite. Like, I would have bought every single wine. Maybe not the Oregon Pinot, because there's probably not a place for it on the menu at that price. And there was one other wine that was a little higher priced. But like everything was like on point, delicious, amazing. And I said to him, I said, "Gary," I said, "I have to be very careful with how I spend our money, because when we buy wine, we're buying a relationship. Well, not only a relationship with you, and we've done business with this salesman Gary for years. And I said, "Gary, I'm buying a relationship with the vineyards." I was like, "I want to buy from," and he has several vineyards that we've been to. I said, "I want to buy from Lafrage. I want to buy from this vineyard. I want to buy from that vineyard." And he didn't have those wines with him. I said, "Those are who I want to support first and foremost." And now there's 2 or 3 wines in all of these wines here that are in the regions that we're going, that I can go visit. Let's make sure that they have a tasting room that can accommodate 25 people, if that's the route we want to go with our trips. I said, I want to be able to buy into a relationship, into a long-term relationship, and not just buy a bottle of wine and just to make money. Most of the wine that we buy, because they're smaller family-run wineries or smaller production, New York State wines have a habit of changing distributors quite often. They jump from this distributor to that distributor to that distributor, and you go to buy it again, it's like, oh my gosh, what distributor has this? All these small independent guys typically don't jump ship. They find a smaller distributor that they build a relationship with, that they like, and that they trust, and these companies will sometimes sell their wines for 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years. We're buying one of the wines here, the Valesco and the Zenato, that come from Winebow, and Winebow is no longer a small boutique wine house. They merged, and it's changed the last couple of years. But literally, Leonardo Lucasi went to Vinitaly in 1979 and found these small wineries that still work with Winebow and Leonardo Lucasi selections today, imports that still work. So it's long-term, it's relationship-based. And Gary knows that, and he brought us some really cool stuff. And I'm like, okay, this winery here, I want to put money into this, because this is an investment for the future, for us going to Italy, for us making a great connection. This is where we want to build relationships. So for us, that's how we buy wine here. It's all based upon the relationships that we can have with the vineyards, the distributors, and so forth. It's never, years and years ago, before we started this concept, people would walk in, wine, $4 a bottle, $3.50 a bottle, and they weren't coming from a true winery. They were labels that were coming from bigger wineries that would slap on a label, do a private custom label for a distributor or for somebody else. And wine might have not have been bad, might not have been fantastic, but there was no real connection. There's nobody you could call and say, "Hey, who's the owner? Who founded this winery?" It was nothing like that. It was just labels. A lot of the wineries are like that, especially a lot of spirit companies are like that too. So when you walk into a wine shop and you see this stuff, a lot of these are private labels for a distributor, for another company, that they're just going to anybody out there in that region and saying, okay, package me Cabernet and come down to a price point where I can put it wholesale on the market in New York for $6 wholesale. I need a Pinot Noir, I need it for $9 wholesale. And then the company in Argentina or Chile or wherever they are will actually formulate a wine based upon the price point that the distributor wants, and then throw on a private label, and you don't know who really made the wine, and there's no connection. So there used to be a day way back several years ago where we used to buy those wines and sell those wines and make a lot of money on those wines, and there's no true relationship in those. So Jamie and I don't buy those type of wines anymore. We buy wines that we understand who makes it, and we can go there and visit and feel good about our purchase and where our money goes and where your money goes. So that's how we buy wines, and that's like we know so much about all the wines on the shelf there. So let's see. So that is not a wine sale. Those are our permanent prices as of right now. So the good news is you can walk in here and buy a bottle of wine to go as long as you buy food. And as long as the governor keeps that exemption going, we're allowed to do that. I heard it's going to be for a couple of years, fingers crossed, but at any time they could say, okay, you guys are open inside again, so we're going to take that away from you. But in the meantime, we have some amazing, amazing, amazing wines. Check out our Wine Time Live. It's a video that we do on Facebook, then we upload it to a podcast. So it's going to go to Apple Podcasts, and it's going to go to whatever podcast services are out there, iHeart. So Jamie and I, once or twice a week, we open a bottle of wine, talk about the wine, talk about the story of the winery, talk about a trip. We tell stories and talk about the wine, and it's more of a storytelling while drinking a bottle of wine. It's called Wine Time Live. We've done a couple episodes. We're starting that last week. We're at episode 3 right now. Jamie at 4 o'clock most days does her Facebook Live. She's up to episode 120 or something since COVID hit. She goes live 3, 4, 5 times a week and does a cocktail around 4-ish. And a lot of people will ask her for the recipes and then come in and say, hey, I want that vodka that you use, or that bourbon, or that gin that you use, or that tequila that you use in your cocktail today. So we have a lot of the stuff in stock ready to go. And again, all you just have to do is buy food. The state liquor store says it needs to be substantial, so they have a list of substantial foods, and believe it or not, dessert is considered a substantial food. So you can walk into a restaurant, buy a dessert, which means cookies or something, and take out booze to go, full bottles of spirits, full bottles of wine, all that kind of stuff. All right, folks, that's it. I have to go sear up some tuna for tonight, get on my bike, do a ride, and cook some lobsters for the lobster bake, which will be lobster tails tonight. That's the deal tonight, lobster tails, clams, oysters on the half shell, and that's it. So the dining room's ready to go. If you're just tuning in, Jamie and I have been working very hard on the dining room today, and the dining room is ready to go. We've set up our tables. We've done our partitions. Our booths are perfectly fine with the 5-foot partitions. We have a lot of these old doors here that we can do for partitions, and so our tables are spaced out. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in. Got to go, and we'll talk to you later.